Good morning. Just here with your Ariens snowblower, and I just want to go over the service that I did on it and point out any issues that need to be addressed. So we'll just start here at the front. I flipped the skid shoes on both sides. They should be done seasonal. After I flip the skid shoes, I set the scraper bar height down in here just to make sure that it's the right height for, obviously, I think you have a dirt driveway. I checked your front gear case fluid, make sure the fluid was okay. It still is. I greased the grease fittings at both shear pin locations, so if you have to change one, you'll be able to get it out easy enough. The shear pins on the impeller way in the back are still present. There are no problems there. I checked your impeller bearing side plate, made sure it was in good shape. There's no issue with that. You get a little bit of rust starting inside your auger. If you'd like to do something for that, I just suggest taking just some trim clad paint or something like that and brushing some in there. It'll make the snow flow a little faster. You won't have sticking problems and stuff. Continuing on your chute, I lubed all the hinges, and you'll notice that I'm pretty liberal with lithium grease. I like to keep everything all greased up. I grease your cable screw threads and all that stuff, because anytime you want to be able to adjust those things, you want them to be able to come apart. I also grease the gears that are in here for your rotator, so everything moves nice and free. And continuing on to the back, I set your tire pressure on both sides, made sure it was set to spec. On one side of the machine, there's a grease fitting for your drive. I greased that. I greased all your controls, make sure everything was all nice and smooth and nothing's going to rust up on you or anything like that. Chute control works well, and the gear shifter works well for your drive. When I tested the machine, I found it didn't really have too much. One of your reverse gears was actually forward, so I adjusted your drive. We'll go to the drive here in a second. There's another thing. Checked your electric start, made sure that was functioning the way it was supposed to. Check your recoil rope, made sure that wasn't frayed anywhere, that it's going to snap on you if you need to use it. Check the condition of your drive and your auger belts. You can still keep going. There's no cracks, and I don't see any hourglassing, so you're good for a little bit yet. I mean, that all depends on usage, so as long as you keep using the machine decently, then they'll last you a little while yet. Down in your drive, up underneath the machine, I cleaned your rubber friction disc off, and I cleaned any built-up rubber. It was on the steel disc, and made sure any of your drive components that need to be lubed up, I made sure that was done. On your friction disc, the rubber friction disc, it is quite worn from slipping. I would suggest changing that. I would be very surprised if that lasted you the winter. So, I mean, that's up to you. I can give you a price for that and how much time to repair it. When I drained your fuel, when I drained your fuel system, I always drain the fuel bowl and remove it and clean any sediment out and stuff. When I drained yours out and took the fuel bowl out, I can also send you a pic of this. I found rust in the bottom of your fuel bowl. So that's usually you're getting water in somewhere, so either using regular fuel or there's another issue. So I did find that when you tip the machine up, you can see it's still a little bit damp here where I was playing around with it. Your fuel cap's actually leaking. I tried to bend the little tabs in so it would make a better seal, but that still doesn't. So I would recommend replacing that fuel cap as well, because what happens is you get snow built up on here and it melts from the heat of the engine, then it gets down into your fuel system and you get rust inside your carburetor. So carburetors can cost you a couple of $100 for these machines. So my suggestion would be to get the fuel cap and have that fixed up and make sure that you're just burning the regular fuel. I also pulled your spark plug, made sure it was okay, cleaned and gapped it, and reinstalled it. I started the machine, made sure the electric start was working okay, made sure it goes forward and reverse okay, made sure your lever interlock was working, so when you have both levers down, they lock into place, so you can use one hand to rotate your chute and stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, other than the things that I mentioned, she's pretty well ready to go. And if you want me to do the other repairs, then I can surely do those for you as well. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon.